everybody. I'm Katie.
I'm Becky, and this is Live, Laugh, Lorcana. So, we went to League this week. Me too.
Mm-hmm.
A girl in our Discord, we found out, is local. And so she joined us going to League, and it was so much fun.
Yes, and we should thank her because that's what got you back to League, Becky.
It sure did. Yeah, it was really exciting. She was so sweet and so much fun. And it was great meeting her. It was just like probably the most fun I've had at League.
Honestly, same. Because we had talked about last week how the number of women at our league has gone down. And now I'm like, was that because of the holidays and then because of snow? Because we had a lot of women there last night.
Care to take a guess of how many? Because I do know how many.
You counted?
Yeah.
I know there were 41 total. So I'm going to guess that there were 14 women.
12. So close.
Okay.
Yeah. It was really fun. And you introduced me. Well, I've met her before, but I didn't know that she knew us as who we are. I thought she was just a very nice girl. I mean, she is. But I got to talk with her a lot, and that was a lot of fun.
And you fought with her about romance novels as you do with any other woman who reads.
I did not. She started it. No, I'm I'm kidding. No. Okay. So the great equalizer, perhaps the universal ubiquity of reading that has overtaken women between the ages of 20 and 50 is A Court of Thorns and Roses series. And I'm good at matching energy with that book. So if you want to rave and tell me how amazing it is, like I'll be right there with you. But if you want to talk about how it's way overhyped and kind of garbage, I'm also right there with you because I feel pretty mid about it. So it was fine.
I'm totally just teasing you. I just know you're very passionate about ACOTAR not being the pinnacle of, I don't know, whatever genre that's supposed to be.
Fantasy romance. Not my favorite genre. I'm going to stop talking about it. I could talk about it forever. Books in general, I mean. But also I was too awkward because I'm always too awkward. I know we're not self-deprecating anymore, but I'm not saying it like it was a bad thing. I'm saying it just because that's how it was.
You weren't awkward, I don't think.
It's fine. It's no big deal. Anyway, let's talk about actual league, the playing of the games. I got to play against you, which was always a good time.
I know, it's like 40 people and we get matched every time. It's the best.
Love it. And then I also was matched up against this really nice kid who was like 10 or so, and he was playing a bounce stick, and he was really cute and he had a lot of fun with it, and he was great. I loved him. And then also I played against Go Guy, and Go Guy, character redemption. He's on his redemption arc. We had a very nice match. He was very nice to me. He still barked at me to go. But I was like, oh, Go Guy. Oh, Go Guy. Classic Go Guy. Always telling me to go. Other than that, we had a very nice time.
It was wonderful. Yeah. Okay, I played a kid at League. I love playing this kid. He is, I don't know, 10, 12, I don't know.
Probably 12.
He comes from a magic family, so he's very intense, like writing your lore totals, playing meta ruby amethyst. He's very good at the game, but he's also very like fun. So we are totally just like ribbing each other the whole time and having a good time until like towards the end of the game where like dad comes over and just like starts hovering and like staring at his hand and seeing what he's doing, and it's like the tone shifted instantly.
I think that's crazy that there are TCG dads.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Yeah. It's like the hockey dad after the match was like, oh, Benjamin, you gotta keep focused. What are you doing out there? That kind of
For real, I felt like that's what happened. Like we were having so much fun, and then his dad came over, and then the fun ended. Like,
fascinating.
and then I played two women after that. One of them was you. Then I hung out and talked with women. Oh, and there was a woman there who it was her first league ever. And I'm like, have you played any other games before? And she's like, yeah, one. I'm like, oh, which one? Flesh and Blood. Oh my God. Becky, you're indifferent to the story. You know how rare it is to me.
No, I'm like super. Well, I was there when it happened, so I've already reacted.
Well, you don't meet that many people who've played Flesh and Blood, but a woman who plays Flesh and Blood.
I know. I was just thinking that she was super nice too.
Oh, she was so nice.
But I was also thinking what happens when that kid's dad listens to our podcast and then corners you in the parking lot to kick your ass.
I don't think I have to worry about him listening.
No.
The point is, League was really fun.
Yeah, and we have more friends there. Every week we're gathering more friends, and hopefully they will start bringing their friends, and then we'll have so many friends there. And now there's like a much higher chance that when I go to League, there will be somebody that I know.
That's true. We got a lot of feedback about last episode. The most feedback we have ever gotten for any episode we've ever done. Can you believe it?
No.
There's just one thing that several people said that we need to talk about.
Please.
Because remember, we pointed to that top 8 photo and we said, it's really sad that this is all white males. So a thing we heard a bunch is that, well, women aren't competitive and that's a competitive tournament. Women don't even care about competitive. What do you say to that, Becky?
Girl, since our first episode, we've been like, that is simply not true. Women are competitive. They are.
Yeah, about things they care about. Like, women are so competitive.
100%. And it's like, that's not the issue why they're not up there. Personally, this is just my belief. And again, I'm not trying to generalize, but it's like they're not up there because they don't feel welcome in the competitive space.
That is what you said, and I thought that was so astute. And I don't know if this is a valid sociological comparison, but I was thinking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And it's like sense of belonging comes before individual achievement. So, like, until women feel welcome in the TCG space, they're not going to feel that drive to be competitive in it.
100%. No, I totally agree with you. But yeah, and like you see people saying stuff like, "Oh yeah, well, women's just got to go in and show them that they're serious or whatever." And it's just like, why is that? Why is that any one person's job to do that? Like, I don't know. And again, our conversation wasn't super productive last time because
Mm-hmm.
of how we just talked in circles a lot and didn't come to any real conclusion. But I don't think it's reasonable to say that women are why there's nobody up there.
Yeah. I think we really just need to focus on bringing women into the game because I think as women feel comfortable, some of them will start to feel the drive to compete, just like men. Some will be competitive, some won't, but like we need the space where they feel comfortable before we start to see more of that division.
That's the thing. Like, why would I invest so much time and, strategy and doing all this stuff when I know it's not an arena where I'm going to feel like I belong? Like, it just, no, we need no martyrs here. We just need to change the field.
Mm-hmm. Yes, good point. I just have to say, my favorite thing about the fact that so many people told us this, that women aren't competitive, is that it's the first time I saw competitive fire in you. Where you're just texting me and being like, Katie, we need to win everything. And I loved it. It's just a lovely shade on you.
Oh, thanks. Do you remember when we played at League?
Yeah.
I was like, Katie, we got to finish this game. I want to go again. Got to do this again.
Yeah, because you knew you were going to lose the first game, and you're like, no, I figured it out. I know how to beat you. Let's go. That's great.
What I need to do is cut some cards out of my deck, but that's not important. Not part of the conversation.
Okay, and then we have some news that we were asked to react to.
Cool. What is?
The OP announcement.
Who asked us to react to that?
Googly.
Who's Googly?
Googly Limers, Joe.
Joe, come on. I'm just kidding. Nobody wants to know what we think about that.
No, everybody wants to know.
Okay. So are bad, really. Everyone's bad, really. Because when they're like, big OP announcement, we are all like, oh my gosh, we're getting all of the announcement. It's going to be so much announcement at once. We're going to be buried under announcement. And that's kind of like what everyone was thinking. And then we got it, and it was a press release about how there will be more information in the future. And I just feel like it was just our bad. We didn't have the right expectations for what that was going to be. We really piled it on.
All they promised us was an announcement, but so many people were like, "Oh, can't wait for that January announcement so I can schedule all my PTO for the year and start working on that judge, program and all that stuff." And they got in my head, Becky.
I
Okay,
know,
they go.
I'm with you. We thought we were going to get all the information. It's not our fault.
But that's okay. We're gonna get it eventually
In March.
in March. No, we did get some real information. Like we're gonna have set championships with the amazing Rockstar Stitch cards and playmats to top 4 and top 2. Are you excited for that?
I'm never going to get one. I'm never going to see one of those. So, not particularly. Just kidding. No, they're super cool, but I'm never going to have one in hand.
Are you happy they exist in the world, or are you bitter?
I love that they exist in the world. I think that's very cool. I just want one, and I won't get one.
And then there are going to be continental and world championships, which was not a given, okay? I am a spoiled brat, and I assumed we would get them, but they were never given, and now we know for sure we're getting them.
True.
And I would like to go to both. I don't expect to be qualified, but I would like to go to both.
I love it.
Okay, and then the other important bit of news that Rebecca at the Illuminary asked us to react to is the new Disney Lorcana Gateway product. So this is going to start with 230 card decks, a game, board, rules, and player guides. And there's going to be instructions and extra cards to build those up to 60 card decks. And this is going to function as a tutorial for the players as they play through the instructions until they build 2 complete Lorcana decks with a good idea of how to play each card type. $25 for that whole thing.
Okay, well, I believe Pokemon has a similar product, and I think it's very cool and very fun, and I will buy it even if I don't need it.
No, you do need it, because here's my plan. When it comes out, clear an afternoon, we buy this, we take it to the parents, and we make them learn with this tool.
Yeah, the ultimate test, really, of its efficacy.
They're going to be excited to know that they're the ultimate test.
I don't know, like an older person who's never played a TCG before. I think that's perfect.
I agree with you.
Yeah, sounds fun. I like it. I'm excited to see what they put together for it.
Yeah, I'm like super excited for this product because I had concerns because it's like they said the reason they didn't put locations in chapter 1 is because they thought it was too complex. And like all I keep thinking is like, what does that mean for new players? Because like 99% of the people who are going to play Lorcana aren't playing it yet.
Yeah.
But the great thing is you'll have a great intro product to introduce locations to new players, presumably.
I love it. Sounds great.
We got the chance to sit down with a very fun guest last week. So we are going to put that interview here. Stay tuned for after that conversation because we have some more listener questions at the end of the show.
And here is where we put our intro with Kylie. Right here, right now. We are joined with friend of the show and Lorcana enthusiast, Kylie.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, welcome to the show. We've been wanting to have you on since we met you, like after hours on the Illumateers live stream one night. So
Yes.
Well, I'm very excited to be here, and I'm very honored that you guys asked me to be on.
Oh, you're so sweet. You're such a sweetheart. I was like, Katie, Kylie needs to be our friend.
it's true.
Definitely. I would love to have more friends in Lorcana that are females. A lot of my friends are males because they're Dan, my husband, from the Forbidden Mountains friends. So I would love to have more female friends in Lorcana.
I love that you say mountain like I do.
It's my Philly accent.
I love it. Yeah.
I can't help it. It's my Philly accent.
I love it. Yeah. I mean, our Pittsburgh accent is not as cute, but it's a similar mountain.
Water.
We don't say that. No,
No,
too far.
Water ice. That's
Katie, do you know what water ice is? I do.
Isn't it just like shaved ice?
Okay.
With
Yeah,
the-
that's right.
it's a little different.
Is it different?
Yeah, water ice is a little different than shaved ice. Shaved ice is more like they actually take the shaver and cut the ice. Water ice is completely different.
Is it like I heard it was described like Rita's Italian ice? Is that what water
That is,
ice?
yeah,
That's water ice, not
yeah,
like
that's water ice.
snow
Rita's
cone.
Italian ice is water ice.
Okay, there we go.
Shaved
Got
ice
it.
is totally different.
Okay.
I didn't know that till recently, even that it was close to shaved ice.
Yeah, that water ice is a Philly thing.
That's cute. I love it.
What we call it in Philly. So it's other places it's Italian ice but in Philly it's water ice. Now I want water ice. I wish it wasn't the
Yeah, it's a little cold for that.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Well, let's just start at the beginning because I have a lot of questions just about how you got into Lorcana. So, like, what's your background in Disney and, like, what's your background in TCGs?
Well, my background in Disney is I'm a Disney adult. I've loved Disney since I was a kid and to this day love Disney. This is my first TCG ever. I've tried to learn WoW and Transformers in the past, did not understand it one bit. I was like, you're speaking another language. I have no idea. But with Lorcana, I don't know if it's because it's Disney that I understand it more and actually get it and exerting. Because before Dan would teach me like Transformers, for example. And I'm like, why do you turn the card and then turn it back? He's like, because it's exerted. And I'm like, well, why? I don't understand. But now with Lorcana, I understand what exerted and ready is. So I think it's just because it's Disney that it entices me more, that I'm more interested in it. I'm not a big Transformers fan. I never was until I really didn't know anything about Transformers until Dan. So, but yeah, this is my first official TCG game that I'm actually a player in and enjoy playing the game. I didn't really even enjoy WoW or Transformers. The characters were boring.
Yeah.
Totally fair. Controversially, that's how I feel with Magic. When I've been tried to talk Magic, I'm like, I don't care about these cards.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Magic. Dan, I don't think ever played Magic. Dan and I have been together since we were juniors in high school.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, this past November, it was 18. Yeah, 18 years we've been a couple. And this August, it'll be 10 years we've been married. So all of my things that I know, like card games and computer games and like even like Marvel and DC stuff is all because of Dan. And I also wanted to get into Lorcana just because we have 2 kids and I work, he works, we're taking care of the kids. And then it's like, when do we really find time for each other? So Lorcana is also a way where him and I can sit down together and just have us time and play a couple matches. So it was also a way for us to spend more time together, which as corny as that sounds, it was kind of my way of spending more time with him and get him away from doing the Forbidden Mountain stuff and hang out with me.
Oh, I love that. That's really great. I'm doing this so I can spend more time with Katie. So I totally get that.
Me too, but I didn't want to say anything.
Stop.
So did you like Lorcana right away or was it an adjustment?
No, I actually liked it right away. Again, I think it's because of the Disney name why I liked it so much. at first I had no idea what the cards meant. I kept asking Dan, is this a good card? Is this a good card? But now as I play and we do orders from him and Scott selling the cards, I'm more familiar with the cards. I know which is a good card, which isn't a good card. So yeah, from the beginning I liked it, and I would like to play more, but with my work schedule, it's kind of hard for me to play. So most of the time, Dan will go and play in like a local tournament or something, and I'll stay home with the kids. It's not very often that both him and I go and play at the same time, which stinks, but that's what happens when you have kids.
Yeah.
Someone's got to take care of the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask because I know from Dan that you've never been to like a local game store for a Lorcana night. Is that?
Well, we actually went to Top Deck in New Jersey a couple weeks ago, I think, and I played the league there for the first time. I didn't do too bad. I only won one time, but that's okay. A win is a win, and as a person who's starting out fresh in the game, I'm going to take the wins when I can.
Oh yeah.
I'll take it. But it was a lot of fun, and there was surprisingly a lot of females there. And I even said to Dan that I liked how there was more female representation than males, to be honest with you.
Whoa.
And it was really nice because a lot of them were kids.
Oh wow.
And actually, one of my matches I did, the one that I won, I beat like an 8-year-old girl. And I felt really bad, but I'm like, I want to win. I just want to,
Yeah.
I just want one win. And I felt kind of bad beating her, but, and that made me happy too, to see that there was a lot of kids, like young girls there playing, and they had their mats and their deck boxes, and oh my God, they were so cute. They were all set up and ready to go. And the little girl I was playing, she had the lore counter on her phone. She's like, all right. And she was doing all the lores because I lost track. And I was like, squirrel, and I lost track. So she was keeping tabs on the lore, and I was like, all right, girl, thanks for having my back.
I love that.
I love that. Can we go to that league, Katie?
Yeah, can we? Top Deck?
Yeah.
It's a little far for us, but
Yeah.
Just a little bit. But yeah, but Top Deck was really fun. I had a good time for my first league play. And I want to go back again, but again, it's hard with the kids and now the snow outside. That's a little hard now with the 4 inches of snow that we got today in Philly. So
Yeah. We got about the same.
I like the snow. I just like to look at it. I don't like to be in it.
Oh, same. I'm like, should I just cancel my weekend plans? I don't want to go anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Like I just want to stay inside, and I do the diamond art paintings.
Oh, I love those.
And I just want to stay inside and do my diamond art painting and watch some Disney movies.
That's a perfect day. Oh.
Yeah, and it's
real.
funny because Dan and I like the Disney movies more than the kids do. Like Encanto, Dan and I watch Encanto all the time by ourselves, not with the kids.
Yeah.
We listen to the soundtrack by ourselves, not with the kids. Dan has told me he's come home from work at like 2:00 in the morning, and he has the soundtrack bearing. He's blasting "We Don't Talk About Bruno" like 2:00 in the morning coming down the boulevard. So yeah, so I wish the kids like Disney, but I wish they liked it more, because that would just make my little kid heart so happy and full that my kids like what I used to like when I was a kid. But it's not. No, they'd rather watch weird videos on YouTube and whatever.
How old are your kids?
Lily is 8 and Oliver is 5.
Oh, that's fun.
They're and it's funny because, and this is actually kind of rare, both of them are autistic. And it's very rare that you have siblings that are autistic, both of them. Normally it's just one, but both of them are diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder.
Hmm.
Oh, that's interesting.
So they have their things that they get hyperfixated on.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it would be Disney.
Maybe someday.
Hasn't happened yet. Although Lily did get into, I don't know if you see from Dysfunctional Pass Holder,
Oh, yeah.
the Lorcanos cards.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Lily has a card binder with all her Lorcanos cards in it, and she like just cracks up laughing at all the names.
Oh, that's so cute.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a step.
Yeah.
Although she does see, if she wants to do something, she'll see Dan and I doing Lorcana stuff at the table, and she goes, "Are you guys doing Lorcana again?" Yes, we live, eat, sleep, and breathe Lorcana in this house.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much.
And she has gotten into opening the packs. Like she gets excited opening the Lorcana packs, and I think she opened a legendary foil. I can't remember which one it was, but she was so excited, and she was like talking to Dan about it, and then she had to call my mom and tell my mom about it.
Oh, that's so cute.
So we're getting there.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
We're definitely getting there.
I love that. My toddler, he likes the cards. I give him the ones that are like Mickey, Minnie, stuff he recognizes. And mostly it's just like, I mean, he's a toddler, but just putting them in a box, taking them out, putting them back in, which is very cute.
Well, it's very sensory. So that's good for toddlers to do things like that for sensory and motor skills.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So it sounds like you play most of your Lorcana like at the kitchen table. So like what do you play with? Do you play with like meta decks? I'm sure you're very aware of like meta decks. Do you like to build your own deck? Do you like to build theme decks? Like what do you like to do?
I honestly play the decks that Dan builds. And that's because I am not at the point in the game where I can build a deck and know, even though I watch Dan's videos and all his meta reports and things like that, I'm still not at the point where I can build my own deck and be confident that I could play this deck either in league or tournament. So I've been playing a lot of aggro decks because they're a lot easier to play for a beginner like me. So when we were at the league play, I played a Emerald Amethyst deck, an aggro Emerald Amethyst deck, but there wasn't very many Emerald cards in the deck. So it was more of just an Amethyst deck. And then at PAX Unplugged, I played a Amber Amethyst deck, which I love the deck, but I kept getting paired with decks that totally beat me up.
Like anything steel?
Steel. Yes. But though my one win at PAX Unplugged was a mirror match and I won. So I was like, yes, finally, I'm not against a steel deck. But yeah, it was either Amethyst Steel, Sapphire Steel, Amber Steel. I was like, do they not like me and just want me to be with all the steel decks? Because I got crushed. I was like, and as soon as the tournament was over, I was like, damn, we need to fix this because I can't. Like, I love Amethyst, but my deck to just one ink is like, I get crushed. I was like, we need to change this. So we changed it to, originally it was Ruby Amethyst, but I didn't really play with that deck. And then he changed it again to Emerald Amethyst, and that's what I played with at the league. But I love the Amber Amethyst deck.
So you mentioned playing in PAX Unplugged. Like, what made you want to play in PAX Unplugged, especially since you hadn't been to a single league at that point?
Honestly, I have severe social anxiety.
Same, girl.
I've been wanting to do better with that. And I talked a lot with Dan, and I was afraid, like, I'm not that good. I'm going to take so long doing my turns, and then my opponent's going to be mad at me because they're probably more experienced than I am. And Dan's like, no, like, he's like, probably most of the people there this will be their first time ever playing just like you. And I was like, all right. And I knew if Dan, and at that point, because it was my first tournament, if Dan wasn't coming, I would be like, I'm not, like, I can't. But I think Dan also being there too kind of made me feel a little bit more comfortable. And my social anxiety was like, okay, you can do this, Kylie. Dan said you can do this. You could do this. And everyone was so nice. All of my opponents were men. And that I felt very intimidated by that, because I've seen tournaments that Dan has played in, and sometimes like the guys can be not very nice, and even to each other, like male against male, like they're not very nice and they criticize, and I'm not about that. I like to be rainbows and unicorns and sunshine all the time, but unfortunately the world is not like that. So that intimidated me too, because I was afraid that I was going to be paired with all men, and of course I was. But they were very nice. I even asked them, like, can you give me some pointers, like things that I can work on? And they were like, yeah, you did a great job. My one opponent was like, you played the deck the way it's supposed to be played. Like, he's like, I just had steel, and unfortunately, your deck had not a really good chance. But yeah, I feel more comfortable now. And I played in the starter deck on Friday, and then that tournament was on Saturday. So playing in the starter deck on Friday, my jitters kind of went away. And then I was still nervous because I can't just turn my social anxiety off. I wish I could, but I can't. But I felt still not confident. And even to this day, right now, sitting here talking to you ladies, I still don't feel very confident playing the game. But I'm more comfortable sitting across from somebody that I don't know and just play. And that's a step. I'll take that as a win.
It's a big step for sure. It's really scary.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not great at it, to be honest.
No, I am, like, because in my head I get stuck with, like, okay, you have to get to 20 lore. I'm like, all right. So then that's what I'm trying to do. But then it's like you have to also challenge characters too. So I'm like, okay. So I'm still also learning when you need to challenge as opposed to when you need to quest. So it's all a learning process, but it's things that I'm excited to learn and that I want to learn more of, because I enjoy playing the game. And I'm not a competitive person. So like me losing at the tournaments, I was like, oh, whatever. Like, it's just a game. But I enjoy playing the game, and I definitely want to play as much as I can whenever I can, which is not very often, but hopefully it'll be more often within the coming months.
I apologize because I did no research before this interview. So you said there was a starter deck tournament on the Friday.
Yeah.
Was it a lot of new people in there?
Yeah. I mean, there were a few like seasoned TCG players.
Mm-hmm.
A handful of us this was their first tournament, or it was their first time playing Lorcana.
Oh, nice.
That was nice too, because I'm like, you guys are in the same boat as me, so I'm okay. I'm not alone on my little boat out in the ocean.
I doubt you're giving yourself enough credit. I bet you're very good at this game. Definitely way ahead of people who haven't played Lorcana before.
Well, I like to prepare, like, know what I'm up against. So we went out, I think it was a week or two before PAX, and we went out and we got product for Floodborn. And I said to Dan, and we got starter decks. So I was like, we're going to take these starter decks and we're going to do exactly like they're going to do at PAX. So I know what I'm in for. And I got the good starter deck, and I beat Dan quite a few times in our play testing.
Yay.
And then when he's like, all right, let's switch. So we switched and then he beat me. but but I think we played like 4 matches in total and I won 3 out of the 4. So it happens.
That's awesome.
Not very often for me, but it happens.
I never doubted it. Did you get the good starter deck at the actual tournament at PAX Unplugged?
I did, but I think what was the downfall of that was the pack that I opened in the starter deck when Dan and I play tested obviously was way different cards than what I had at PAX. And then I did it myself, trying to be like, all right, I'm going to do this myself. Dan's going to be so proud of me. Scott's going to be so proud of me. I'm going to be on the Forbidden Mountain team finally. And then Dan's like, let me see your deck. And he's like, why do you have these cards in here? And I was like, because I was trying to do it myself. And he's like yelling at Scott, why didn't you help her? And he's like, she didn't ask me. I said, no, because I wanted to do it myself. But I didn't do a very good job.
Oh, I'm sure you did fine. And you'll get better every time you do it.
Exactly. And that's why I said to Dan, I want to learn how to build a deck myself so I don't have to keep asking you, can you build this deck for me? I want to be able to do it myself so I know what I need to do, what needs to be in the deck, what doesn't need to be in the deck.
Katie generally underestimates how good I am at making decks. So,
well, you've heard the podcast.
Yes.
You're always self-deprecating, Becky. You just throw everybody off.
Yeah, that's it. I like to exceed expectations, so I tried to set them low.
You can only go up.
Exactly.
You start at the bottom, you're at the bottom, you can't go any lower.
Yeah.
Y'all can only go up.
There you go.
So I like that mentality, Becky. I like
So the constructed tournament at PAX Unplugged that you did the next day, you're acting like you did bad, but didn't you go 3-3? Isn't that what Dan posted on?
I did, but
Don't but.
Again, I'm going to take a win wherever I can get a win. But 2 of my wins were buys.
Okay, you do. This is a PSA for everybody. You have to count your buys as wins because that makes it so you're playing against better people the rest of the tournament. So
right, exactly, which I didn't know until afterwards when the guys explained it to me. But yeah, I did go 3-3 at PAX Unplugged. So for my first tournament, I don't think I did too bad. I think I did pretty good for my first tournament.
You did incredible for your first tournament. You really did.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I wish I did, like, my goal was top 8, but I knew that wasn't. I think that's everybody's goal. But I'll take 3-3. I'll take it.
For sure.
And I'll wear that badge of honor with pride.
Yeah.
We all wanted that for you, Kylie. We were cheering for you on the Live Laugh Lorcana Discord.
Don't tell Dan, but you guys are my favorite Lorcana podcast, not the Forbidden Mountain. Don't tell Dan. Don't tell Scott either, but especially not Dan, because you're supposed to like my husband's podcast, which I do, but I like you guys better.
Well, I'm sure he'll never listen to this, so it's fine.
No, he loves your podcast and says he listens to it as well. He's like, I love Katie and Becky. Those girls are so funny. I'm like, I don't know if the feeling's mutual, Dan.
I love Dan's content.
Yeah, the Forbidden Mountain's Katie's favorite.
Yeah, it is.
Well, Dan has not asked me to be on his podcast.
Rude.
So, thank you, Becky. Thank you. It is rude. And there is video proof that he didn't want me to be on the podcast. And I tell him that all the time. And then he goes, oh, I was just kidding. I was like, no, you weren't, because I have proof.
And you still don't have an invite. So
and I still don't. I always say, it's not like I'm that far away. If you need a guest, I'm right here.
Right there. Yeah.
And he just laughs and continues doing his editing. I said, all right, watch. The next time you're in a bind and you need somebody, I'm not going to be here. I'll be at League. Maybe I'll be in Pittsburgh with Katie and Becky. You never know.
Yes.
You never know.
So here's the real question. Would you do it again? Would you go to another Lorcana tournament?
Yes. I'm pretty sure we are going to SCG Philly, quote unquote Philly, and I'll be playing in the tournament then. I enjoyed it. I've been to PAX before, but I didn't play anything. I think it was 2021. I went and I just kind of walked around the con and just looked at all the vendors and stuff. And I enjoyed it too, just going and being a spectator. But I did enjoy it more actually playing in the tournament and meeting a lot of people. And it's just a different vibe when you're in a tournament as opposed to just a spectator. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, I really liked PAX. I can't wait till next year. Hopefully Ravensburger has another Lorcana tournament, which I'm pretty sure they will. And I'll play in that again.
I have another question. Do you have any advice for someone who is considering doing their first tournament?
Don't be scared. It is scary, but I can't speak for the other communities like WoW or Magic or any of the other card games. But my experience of the community for Lorcana is very open and welcoming. And just the advice that Dan gave to me would be the advice that I would give. You just got to do it. You just got to put yourself out there and do it, because once you do it, the jitters go away and you're like, okay, let's go. Let's play some matches. I'm ready. So just don't be scared. Just do it. Like Nike, just do it.
I love that advice.
I'm a little scared for these listener questions because I know my husband put a couple in there.
FPS Madness says, with set 3 coming up next month, what locations do you want to see and how important do you see them being?
I know Fang was just spoiled today, which I think is pretty cool. And shout out to the Forbidden Mountain, that was spoiled as well, which I thought was like super cool.
Yeah.
That's in the game. A location, maybe Ariel's Grotto.
Oh,
I only say that Ariel, I'm biased because Ariel's my favorite princess.
that's such a good answer. Like an item bonus or something would be
Yeah,
so
that would
cool.
be pretty cool. But yeah, I would like to see Ariel's Grotto.
That's such a good answer.
That is a really good answer.
I'd like to see Casita from Encanto. Would be a lot of fun to see.
That would be cool.
Yeah, we all know I want the Wreck-It Ralph locations, but I'll say something different. I want Pizza Planet. I know it's not actual planet, but I kind of want
it. I doubt we'll get that in set 3 because of its
because we haven't had Pixar yet.
Yeah, but Pizza Planet would be cool.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
I can see them being pretty impactful because like that Fang we saw today was very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to like learn how they work. I don't understand them yet.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's now something more to the game that I need to learn is how the locations work. It was explained to me, but it's still kind of confusing. But I'm a hands-on learner.
Oh yeah.
I think once I play some matches with the locations, it'll start to sink in.
So this is a precursor to your husband's question. Are you interested in the Ravensburger official events, fan events, or competitive events? Either one more than the other?
I don't really think I have one that I'm more into than the other. I would do any of them just to get the experience of play. Like for example, at PAX, I played all 6 rounds. And the only reason I did that was so I can get more experience at playing. So I would do any of them just to get the experience and build my knowledge of the game to make me a better player.
That's such good attitude. The most you'll ever learn on a game is like when you're playing those like long tournament days against really good people. It's like really where you like learn to play the game.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I'm definitely excited for both, but I'm actually more excited for the fan events just because like I've been to a bunch of competitive events for Flesh and Blood, so I'm like so excited to see what the fan events are.
I'm not very competitive in general, so I feel like fan event might be more fun to me. I'm not super motivated to get good. Just want to hang out with people. I don't know.
Yeah, the fan events seem like they might be more like league play, which is
Hmm.
pretty neat.
Yeah.
And I like that idea because at the tournaments that I've seen and PAX that I was at, there wasn't many kids.
Hmm.
And there's more kids at the league play. So I think the fan events will be cool because I think it'll bring more kids into the game, which I personally would just like to see because I know Dan started playing card games when he was young, and that's how he made a lot of his friends was through the card games that he played. And again, a lot of kids have social anxiety. It gets them out there meeting other kids with similar interests and just having fun. And it's not as like nerve wracking as a tournament setting would be. So I think I might change my answer. I think I'm more excited for fan events.
But you'll go to both.
But I'll go to any of them. But I think I'm more excited for the fan events.
Even our parents were like, "Oh, we might check out a fan event." I'm like, "Yes, yes, parents." Adorable.
I love it.
Yeah. So, TFM Dan asks,
I don't know him.
which locations are you most hopeful for Ravensburger to host an event at and why?
Definitely Disney
Mhm.
at Disneyland or Disney World. Also, I would be really excited to go overseas. I've
Mhm.
never been outside the United States, let alone like I've been to Jersey and Florida. That's pretty much it. When you're from Philly, Jersey really doesn't count. So
Yeah.
I've just really been to Florida. So I think I would really like to see like something overseas, like in France or Germany. That would be really cool.
Definitely.
But I'm really keeping my fingers crossed for Disney World or Disneyland.
I'm with you. I actually think Dan gave the best answer already in our Discord because he said Disneyland Tokyo or Disneyland Paris.
Oh yes, that would be cool.
Yeah, because it's like that mix of like comfort in Disney and exotic because it's like in a city you've never been to before. So I think
Mhm.
that that's like actually the best answer.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
My only concern for being at like a Disney park is that like staying and all that is that going to be expensive?
Yeah, that is the downfall.
'Cause I don't see me being able to go to Orlando, Florida, and being in spitting distance of Disney World and not being like, we should just have a 7-day vacation.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's
Like
so true.
you can't just stand outside of Disney World and be like, okay, I'm not gonna go in. Like,
Yeah.
no, you have to go and you have to go to all the parks. Like, you can't just go to one. Come on.
It's true.
Yeah.
I agree,
It's so
Becky.
true. Yeah. Jedi Geek Girl from iRebel Gaming says, it's my opinion that if Star Wars or Marvel came to the game, it should be done via Mickey and Friends, like example Darth Goofy, Iron Mickey, Donald Solo, etc. What do you think of this idea? Would you like that in like a mini set or some kind of special product? What IPs would you like to see done in that style outside of Marvel and Star Wars?
I mean, I think that would be really cool, like to just have the characters dress up like Han Solo or Chewbacca or something. But I personally would like to see Pixar in the game and Encanto. Encanto has to be in this game. Like, come
Has
on.
to.
Hmm.
But like for stuff like that, I think it would be cool to have like a promo card as like Darth Goofy or something.
Mhm.
Oh, so good.
That would be really cool. Or like Captain America dressed up like Chip or something. That would be cute.
Mhm.
Like the Falcon and Captain America would be Chip and Dale. That'd be super cute.
Oh, that would be.
But like as like a more of like a collectible thing,
Mhm.
then like the D100 cards they have, that would be pretty cool. But like I really, really want Pixar in the game, like so bad. just because I like how cute would like a Sully card be or a Boo card, and like a location could be the laugh or the scare floor, and then it becomes the laugh floor. Spoilers.
That's a big spoiler.
But a location could be the scare floor. Like that would be really cool. Like there's so many things that they could do with just Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
And then the like I'm over exaggerating, but the millions of other Pixar movies that they have. And just Encanto is just awesome. Like I would love to see Bruno or
Yes.
Mirabelle. Like that would just be so cool. But I wouldn't want them in just like little sets. I would want them in like the actual gameplay.
Encanto's not Pixar, so we're guaranteed it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's great. That makes me happy.
And Surface Pressure is one of my favorite Disney songs.
It's a
Yes.
good one.
That song slaps.
Oh,
It
yeah.
does. I think Encanto might be my favorite Disney movie. It's so good. It's so funny. It's so heartwarming. The music's incredible. It's just like everything about it is so good.
And like you can just watch it and watch it and watch it.
And I do.
And it's like the first time you watched it. Like
It's magical.
you get all the feels.
You do.
Love it.
You do. Oh, so good. What? All right, the question.
We got sidetracked on Encanto.
It's not hard to do. We've discussed before that, Mickey and Minnie and the gang kind of functioning like Barbie dolls, and I kind of love that.
Yeah.
I think even like, can I be honest, I don't remember anything Disney related that's not like owned other than Marvel and Star Wars. But
I also struggled with that.
my only thought ever is also Pirates of the Caribbean. That's all I got. So,
Oh yeah, I forgot about Pirates of the Caribbean.
yeah. So like, I don't know, Davy Jones, Goofy. I don't know. That'd be fun. I don't know.
A Jack Sparrow Mickey.
Yes.
So cute. That would be cute. The little
Yeah, with the
really
and the
cute.
beads in his beard. I love it.
Yeah.
I love that too. That's such a good idea. I actually had never thought of this before. Like when everyone talks about Star Wars and Marvel, like in the game, but like having them like as skins on Mickey and Friends is such a good idea.
I think so too. Anything else, Kat?
I think I did see one of the questions on there was something about if I lose to Dan, do I make him sleep on the couch? I do not.
We cut that because we thought it was a little.
Yeah. I never have, even if we're fighting, have ever had him sleep on the couch. So there you go. The rumors have been settled. Dan does not sleep on the couch. When he wins, I'm just like, okay, what can I do better? What do I need to do?
You have such a good attitude. I
And
love it.
as my supportive husband, he tells me, and then I sometimes forget, but then I remember.
Has Lorcana couple goals right
Yes.
there.
But no,
Mhm.
he is very competitive, but he's very supportive of me doing Lorcana, and he was very excited and supportive of me being on the podcast today.
Yay.
He definitely wants me to keep going, and he like when I went 3-3 at PAX, he's like, that you did so good.
He was so proud of you.
Yeah. So he's a good one. I'll give a shout out to Dan, and I'll give a shout out. Go listen. If you like this podcast, you should listen to the Forbidden Mountain as well. Dan and Scott aren't as fun as Katie and Becky, but they do have some pretty good content, and you'll really learn a lot from their videos. Shameless plug.
Yeah, I have to second that. You will learn so much from the Forbidden Mountain. I certainly do.
We were just gonna ask you if you wanted to plug anything, so that's perfect.
Yeah.
Do you want anybody to be able to find you? Where can you be found?
On Twitter, I'm TFM_Kylie. And on Instagram, it's Kylie Arnold spelled backwards.
And if you need any more motivation to find Kylie on Twitter, you can see her awesome diamond paintings on there. They're so cool.
That was actually Dan's idea too. it's a hobby I've taken to very strongly. I also suffer from anxiety. So that helps me like to focus and like center. And I'm just like picking a dot up, putting it on the thing, and it's like I'm in the moment in the diamond dot and I'm not thinking about anything else. And I always have like you guys on listening as I'm doing it, or I'll have like a show I'm watching. Like right now, I'm rewatching ER from like 1994.
Nice.
So I have that playing as I'm doing it. So it gets me centered. And I do like to do the Disney ones. They're my favorite. I've actually just ordered 12. It's a pack of 12 and it's all Disney princesses.
Oh,
Ooh.
fun.
But one is Alice and one is Tinkerbell, but all the other ones are Disney princesses. So I'll definitely post them on Twitter as I do them.
I love that.
But yeah, if you can't find me on Twitter, you can go on the Forbidden Mountain, and Dan tags me a lot and stuff on the Forbidden Mountain, so you can find me on there too. Because I am officially a part of the team because I'm TFM Kylie.
Yeah.
Official. I'm officially a part of the Forbidden Mountain team. I like to say I'm their PR person. Don't listen to Dan and Scott, whatever they say. I'm the heart and soul of the Forbidden Mountain team.
Nice.
I 100% believe that.
Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us, Kylie. We really appreciated talking to you. It was so nice of you to make time to come hang out with us. It was wonderful.
Well, thank you guys for having me. I really enjoyed it. And I would love to come back again if you guys would have me.
Yay, new friend.
Absolutely. And I can't wait to hang out with you in Philly.
March
Just
8th through 10th.
outside of Philly.
Yeah, just outside of Philly in Valley Forge, but we'll call it Philly.
Perfect. Thank you.
That was our very special interview with Kylie. Right there it was. How was that?
that was a new one. All right, let's do some listener questions.
Rebecca from Lorcana Luminary says, if you were to build a specific multiplayer deck, what in combo would you build and what would be some of the star cards?
Don't hate me, but it's Ruby Amethyst.
Really?
Yeah, because we have Baby Aladdin and Rapunzel that take away lore from all your opponents when you play them. You have Mean Aladdin, Heroic Outlaw, that takes away 2 lore for all your opponents. And like Ursula takes lore from all your opponents and you draw cards for all the lore that's lost. Like, I just feel like there are so many tools in those colors. Also, I've heard that's a good in combo even in regular play.
I love it. It's great.
What's your answer?
I would play Emerald Steel, baby.
Interesting. Tell me more.
Well, it has some fun cards for that seem to like be most significant during multiplayer because we got Big Tank, you know, a classic. Everybody, Katie, every single character on the board, every single one. And then it's got Steal from the Rich and Sudden Chill, which are both really only good if you're playing multiplayer.
Great points. Let's see. Is there some sort of combo you could do with all that damage from Big Tinkerbell with a card in Emerald? I wonder.
I don't play Emerald, so I don't know.
Pack Tactics?
Oh yeah, Pack Tactics. Pack Tactics. Everyone knows Pack Tactics.
Becky is Googling Pack Tactics.
I know what the card is. I know what the art looks like. And it's a rare.
I bet you know who spoiled it even.
Or was it our boys at the Inkwell?
Yeah, it was. On This Week in Ink.
Okay, Pack Tactics. Gain 1 lore for every damaged character opponents haven't played. Oh, that's dirty as hell. That is so dirty. If you're playing anything but that, go home. Why didn't you say this one?
Because I also like the Be Prepared in the card draw.
Interesting. But yeah, good answers, everybody. Rebecca also asks, with official event info coming soon, both competitive and fan, what kinds of official multiplayer formats are you hoping to maybe see? And what are your thoughts/feelings about multiplayer in general? Love it? Hate it? I'll start. I've never played a round of multiplayer in my life, but that's changing very soon.
It's true. Can I be honest with you?
Please.
I am not a huge fan of the multiplayer free-for-all. I don't feel like I have a goal and I don't know what to do. Because it's like, yeah, I can quest, but if I challenge, I don't know who to challenge. There are too many choices. I get confused. But I have played a little 2v2, and I think that's really fun. And I would love to see official rules for 2v2 because I kind of made it up as I went along. And then also in Miami, they did a team constructed, which is 3v3, but it was really just like 3 1-versus-1 matches. But across the team of 3, they had to use all the different ink colors. So I kind of like that. And what I would really like to see is team sealed, where your team of 3 opens a bunch of packs, and then you have to build 3 decks out of those packs where all the colors are used,
Oh, that sounds fun.
like 2, 2, and 2, the different ink
Yeah.
colors.
That sounds really cool. Martin Carp asks, would you like to see drafting brought in for the top cut for big events? Why or why not? I'll start. I have never thought of this, but apparently that is a thing. Flesh and Blood does this, no?
Not for the top cut, but they'll do mixed format events.
Right.
Like for like nationals and worlds, it's usually 4 rounds constructed, 3 rounds draft, 4 rounds constructed, 3 rounds draft, then top cut, which is usually constructed.
Because we've discussed this, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe we said drafting really shows the skill of the player. Did we say that?
I don't think we say that, but I do believe that. I don't know if it's come up.
Well, I was to say, like, have you said that to me before? Because I feel like you have.
Probably, because I do believe that.
Yeah. So I think that's cool. I kind of like that idea. And then you get to go home with all the cards you got.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think if you're like going to call yourself a continental or world champion, you need to be able to draft a game. So I definitely want to see it incorporated, though I'm not sure I'd want it the top cut only. Also, Becky, can I tell you something?
Please.
I've heard this exact question answered on 2 other podcasts.
Me too. Crazy.
Stop pretending like you listen to other podcasts. But no, Martin, I caught you. You asked this to 2 other podcasts.
What did they say?
Well, you'll have to listen to Forbidden Mountain and Quest for 20 to find that out.
Cameron from the Illumineers of Magic Kingdom says, are there any trends you've noticed that you'd like to see continued in future sets or trends you'd like to see started? It's an odd question being only 2 sets in, but we've gotten a new broom and a new hey hey every set. With the Flotsam and Jetsam reveal, we now have the pair in every odd numbered set. As an example of a new trend, I would love to see 1 Disney Park base location card in every set.
Mine would have been brooms because I just think the whole like Phantasmic thing is so fun. Like I want to do a Sorcerer Mickey. I know Fantasia, but Phantasmic's in Disney World and actually is what I like better. But yeah, I'm really excited to build like Sorcerer Mickey and his brooms. I've been excited since day 1. We've already seen a Sorcerer hat. We've seen that new like Sorcerer location, Sorcerer's Tower. Like, I want to build a deck around Sorcerer Mickey and his brooms, and I'm so excited for it.
That'd be really, really cool. I love it.
Also, the location idea is really cool. Like the locations.
I like that too. I don't know if they would do Disney Park locations, but it would be really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I currently love the evolution of Hey Hey. Would love to see that keep going. I love I don't want to say gimmick, but I love a little something that keeps going. Like it's like a running little fun thing. I don't know. I'd be down with anything, honestly. Jedi Geek Girl from iRebel Gaming says, since we got the dates for the remainder of the sets coming this year, should they also announce set names in advance like Magic and some other games do? What's your opinion? Why?
I don't have a strong opinion on this, but I don't really care to know. Like, I kind of am only going to be thinking about the set that just came out and the one that's going to come out. I probably don't need to know that far in advance.
Right, because like the first chapter didn't really tell us anything. It's just the first one. And then Rise of the Floodborn, I don't know if there were more Floodborn cards than in the first set. If
Yeah, we
that
should
makes sense.
count. I don't know.
I don't know. It didn't seem like significantly more to me. Then, of
Mhm.
course, into the Inklands, we do see the introduction of Inklands, but I don't know if the set names really tell you anything. So I'm not super concerned. It's fun to speculate about, though.
Yeah, I agree. It is fun, but also I don't miss it.
Mhm. Naturally 94 says, do you think we will ever see characters and locations from Ravensburger's animated backstory clips? Will there be a Martin? Will there be a location that is the Great Illuminary? Will there be ink casters as items?
I hope so.
Love. Love that. Although, the Great Illuminary would be like the legendary enchanted location.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I want the Great Illuminary location so badly.
Yeah, be really, really cool. I hope we see. I don't know. It's like we haven't gotten a whole lot of info yet about, the backstory stuff, but I think it's really fun. I'd love to see more of it. And I think it would be totally fine if they started putting it like cards and stuff.
And we've already seen a little because we had Launch was original and Aurelian gyro sensor.
Aurelian.
Aurelian.
Yeah.
Nice. So I could see getting ink casters for sure.
Yeah, after that came out for sure. And I like the little flavor text has Venturo talking.
The only one I'm not sure about is like Martin. I don't know if we'll ever get a Martin.
Oh my gosh, Katie. Martin, and then there's Floodboard Martin, where he's like, evil.
You think Floodborn Martin is evil?
I'd love to see that.
I think Martin meant well.
I know he did, but I'm just like, it's not his fault he got corrupted by the flood, It's not his fault. It just happens sometimes.
That's fair. I guess I was never expecting to see the Illumineers in the game, but I'd be into it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, Martin Carp asks, if Katie and Becky made it to finals for Worlds, would you play the game and give it your best, or would you misplay to make sure your sister won?
Okay, he's saying if, but I think he means when.
Eh, eh, eh. You know what, Katie? This is super reminiscent. First season of Yu-Gi-Oh, where Joey and Yugi have to fight. No matter what, let the game begin. No matter what, may the best man win. That's us.
Yeah, but like they pretended like that was high stakes, but we always knew that Yugi was going to give Joey the money for his sister's eye surgery.
Obviously. Oh, can I tell you an anecdote about this?
Always.
Okay, well, in 8th grade, in my music class, we had to like come up with a musical and like music to go around with it, and I didn't want to do it, so I just plagiarized the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh and changed the names, and they were competing in archery, and nobody called me on it.
Fortunately, not many eighth graders at the time we were growing up were watching Yu-Gi-Oh besides us.
Too true. But anyway, Katie, I think we would go topsies, but not for Worlds. If it was any other competition, we'd be like, sisters, high five, halvesies,
Absolutely not.
Are you kidding?
No, why would we not play it out?
Because I like some money rather than no money.
Well, you can agree to a price split. Well, the thing is, for competitive tournaments where there's coverage, I feel like you might be obligated to play it out.
That's legit. That's for sure true. I don't know. I wouldn't throw it. I don't think I need to throw it.
No, I want to see who would win.
I am strangely competitive with you. I would feel like if I won, though, like imposter syndrome would reign. I'd be like, how did I win that? I didn't deserve to win that. Katie's just objectively better than me at this game kind of moment. But it's okay, Katie. We can see how it plays out in the Glimmer Gauntlet.
In the finals.
I hope we don't verse each other first round because,
Yeah, I agree. I would rather meet in the finals.
Although we'd give a hell of a game.
This has been like a recurring thing for me where like half the time I've top 8'd an event, my first round of the top 8, I'm matched against my husband. It happens so much.
Do you win or lose?
I would say we're probably 70-30. He wins, but I do win some of the time. So
hey, yes, queen. We love it. Speaking of, Jake from Fortyborn asked, do you miss parts of Flesh and Blood? Because the new set looks awesome and I've never played. Here, I'll answer first. Not really. Because Katie always wanted to talk about Flesh and Blood, and I didn't know anything about it, so I wasn't very interested in it. But I think this question was for you.
Have you even ever played Flesh and Blood?
No. I noticed you had a lot of dice, and I was like, ugh, this.
Great question. No. Well, I don't have to miss it because I can play with my husband anytime. He still collects it and wants to play it. But I'm just really immersive in my hobbies. And right now we're in it like deep with Lorcana, like playing and being all up in stuff. So like I really only have time to play other games casually, and Fab is not a casual game.
You remember when you got me a deck and I was like, cool.
Did you ever open that deck?
Yeah, I looked through the cards. Did I play with it? No. But I definitely looked at it and I still have it. And it's one of my most treasured possessions because this was the first time Katie was like, Becky, do hobbies with me. Really the precursor to the show.
That's kind of an adorable story.
You're welcome. Lights Out asks, it's been talked about in a few channels, but the consensus seems to be that league attendance in a bunch of places on the downswing. Although yay for the folks playing at stores with tons of attendance. And especially with a lack of new or more casual players, since stores have so much agency with how they run events, what would you do if you ran Lorcana events at a store to try to drum up new or casual player support to grow a local Lorcana community that might be struggling to maintain attendance?
So we've talked a lot about casual versus competitive since our last pod. It has been a hot topic in our Discord. So I think based on everything we talked about, my opinion is that we need weekly competitive events. So like events that have Swiss rounds and there are prizes for the top winners, like a place for competitive players to really play their meta decks and have that environment and thrive. Then I want to see the casual league event go full casual. So I'm starting to think there shouldn't be matchmaking at all for casual league. I know Jonty was saying on This Week in Ink that at his store, to get stickers, you have to play different people. So I kind of like that as a motivator to get people to play others without like forcing them into a match with a certain person. I also think that matches should be best of one. I don't think there's any reason to have best of three in the guidelines for a casual league. And I think they should probably get rid of extra stickers for wins. I don't think we need a benefit for winning in casual events. I'd rather see stickers going out for like playing a theme deck or trying multiplayer or trading or playing a monocolor deck or answering a Disney trivia question. But that's what I would like to see our casual events become. So there's like a really nice, easy entry point for people who don't play TCGs.
And also, pins for everybody. Everybody should get the pins. Why are they keeping them from us? How much does it cost to make a pin?
How much does it cost to make a pin? Do we know?
I don't know. I'm paying for Leah. Give me a freaking pin.
I mean, that's fair because they get like 6 to 8 of each pin. And like for some stores, that's probably fine. It's certainly not at ours. There are tons of people who go to League every week and haven't even gotten a single promo because of how many people go to our league.
I have a promo now that I got myself.
It's the Cinderella that everyone's supposed to get for signing up for League.
Okay, well, I don't have any other promos. Just saying, give me my promos and my pin. Give me my participation trophies. Thank you.
So B Squared actually made a comment saying he would like to see promo packs like they do in Pokemon. So everyone who goes to League gets a little promo pack. It's like a sealed pack and you open it and it has various promos in it. So I think that would be good.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'd like that. Give me things. I like things.
Shiny Horace, when we were talking about casual versus competitive, said his store does casual play from 12 to 3 and then starts a competitive tournament at 3. And I really love that structure because like having a casual, purely casual means you're probably bringing in a lot of new people. And then as people get comfortable with casual, it's really easy for them to try competitive because they can just like, you know.
Already there.
Yeah, they're already there. They just convince a friend, hey, why don't you stay back and we'll enter the tournament. So I actually really, really love that.
I think that's a great idea. FPS Madness asks, could be an interesting topic, but how does everyone feel on playing Lorcana like poker and bluffing your opponent while staying within the rules of the game?
Do you want to read this example that he was talking about?
An example is your OP is playing high aggro and you're running Ruby. They have loads of cards in hand and loads of ink. So while it's their turn, you move your ink about and separate out 7 ink as if you're getting ready to be prepared and let out a little smile. So they hold back. You don't have be prepared and you just play normal cards and game board control. Would people see this as cheating or just bluffing to your advantage?
I'm actually really interested in your opinion.
I mean, would I fall for that bluff? Probably. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Part of me just like, I don't really care. Not necessarily in the spirit of the game, but I don't think it's a bad thing to do. I think it's a weird thing to do. Don't you give me your cheeky smiles. What are we on a date? Get out of here.
So I actually think this is clean. We don't have rules, but
What's up with that?
there's nothing in the rules against it in any other game. So the only thing I said is I think that in casual against like someone you don't know, I wouldn't do this because it probably is against the spirit of the game. In casual against like a friend, this is hilarious because me and Josh do this to each other all the time. Like if I'm on Ruby Amethyst and I pass back to him, I'll be like, I'm on 7 ink next turn. Like, just so you know, I'm going to be on 7 ink next turn, whether I be prepared or not. Like, I'll just say it because it's fun. So, like, I think it's like a totally normal, like, game night kind of vibe thing to do. And then in competitive, I think it's strategy. Like, I'm not very good at it, but my husband will always talk about how he can tell if his opponent has to be prepared by how they're looking at the board and how they're looking at their hand, just the way their eyes dart. So like it's just like it's a poker face thing. Like it's part of the game. And if you can hide your expression or if you can read your opponent's expression, like it or not, it is part of the game.
I think that's legit. I had an opponent the other day who was like, kept checking his discard. And I'm just like, what are you looking for in there? What are you trying to do? Kind of thing. So I get it. Yeah, it is part of the game. I do enjoy the little taunting with a friend though. I also do that. But yeah, it is part of the game. Katie, tell us who our featured creator. Oh wait, no, that's not how I say it. Katie, who's our featured creator?
That was night and day different. Our featured creator is Ellie Ann Marie. Ellie Ann Marie is a Twitch streamer and Becky. She streams with real cards.
Yes.
Not Pixelborn. She streams from home. She has a nice little camera setup where you can actually see the gameplay out in real life. I'm not usually available for her streams when they're live, but I watched a bunch of her videos on demand that she has on her page, and they were all a ton of fun to watch. Like she'll talk about stuff in the natural downtime that occurs between games. So she'll talk about how her league went, and she'll talk about like any announcements we got from Ravensburger, spoilers. She'll answer questions in the chat. Like it's really just a good time, and everyone should check it out.
Be sure to check out Ellie and Marie, one on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube.
It's been like a crazy 2 weeks for us, Becky.
Yeah, we've been busy. So we got a really exciting message a couple weeks ago from Rochelle asking us if we were available to be on the main stage and the official Discord.
Yeah, that was wild. So we got to be on stage with Steve and Rochelle from Ravensburger and B Squared and Citizens of Lorcana. And the puppies were revealed in real time in front of us, and it was amazing.
And they're so cute.
And also Maui's Place of Exile, but
Puppies.
Well, that was pretty freaking cool.
That was cool.
That was like such an honor. I can't even believe we got to do that. So that was awesome. And if you missed it, you should go check out B Squared because he recorded it and put it on his YouTube channel. So I'll include the link in the show notes.
Yay! And then that was just the beginning of some pretty crazy times, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna bring up my calendar because I can't remember what all happened. And then the next week we got to sit down with our friends from Fortyborn, Jake and Taylor, and we recorded an episode, which was a lot of fun. And then we also were asked to be on Citizens of Lorcana. We recorded that with Adara and James, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Fortyborn is one of my favorite podcasts. It's a podcast I found around the time we started ours, and I'm like, this is like really kind of a similar vibe to ours because it's like Jake knows a bunch about TCGs, Taylor knows nothing about TCGs, and also doesn't want to learn, and they record together and they have great banter. So if you like our podcast, honestly, you'll probably like their podcast. So you should go check it out. And then Citizens of Lorcana is like the OG. Like I've been listening to them for so long, like since way before this podcast was even a thought. Since like April, I've been listening to Citizens of Lorcana, and they bring on so many wonderful guests. I can't believe we got to be part of that podcast.
Yeah, it was really cool. Look at us, Katie. We're popping up everywhere right now.
I know, it's wild. Links in the show notes if you want to see any of that. Hear any of that.
That was sure a great show, Katie. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Please be sure to check us out on Twitter and Instagram. Check us out on YouTube for this, but on YouTube. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Check us out on the Discord. We have a Discord. It's popping off, son.
Until next time, remember to live, laugh, and lore.